what we're going to talk about today was suggested by one of the Tuesdays at 2 viewers. And I'm really disappointed I don't have her name right here for you. So if you're out there, I wrote you yesterday and said I'm doing what you recommended, which is talking about PDF download patterns. And don't any of you people that have never done it and have sworn you're never going to do it, don't leave. Wait and see the demo. You may be pleasantly surprised. You may go away with the same opinion that you don't want to work with PDF patterns. But I'm going to show you how easily they go together and why you might, in some cases, want to use PDF patterns. So you're, oh my goodness. Okay, so if you're out there and you're the person that gave me that recommendation, please, please let us know so I can give you credit for your great tip. So what we've done, and I think we're from pattern 218 all the way up to pattern 232 now, we have available as paper as well as PDF patterns. And the PDF patterns have become a real favorite of people who do live a distance away from the supplier, because maybe you don't want to wait 3 days or in some cases 3 weeks to get your paper pattern. Maybe you're like me and you've decided this afternoon that you want to make up this cute little sundress tomorrow. And you can't order it online and wait 3 weeks to get it because you want to wear it the next day. So that's one really good reason to use PDF patterns. It's an instant option as opposed to waiting. You're not going to pay shipping. And generally, especially with ours, PDF patterns are less expensive than the paper patterns. So it's faster and cheaper. So when you buy a PDF pattern, it's a download, and generally, in our case, you have two opportunities to download it. So if you should have some kind of glitch in your system or something doesn't work or you lose it, you'll have a second option to download it. And then it'll be in your computer and you can print it out when you need it. So I think that's a great option. And a couple of times we've had customers who've had extreme difficulties figuring out how to get it all set in their computer, and they didn't get it the first 2 times, so we fix it for them so they can do it a third time if necessary.
But just for people who haven't done it before, take it back to the beginning. You order it off the website.
You immediately are authorized to have a download. You click on it, it downloads the entire pattern into your computer. Then you go to your printer to print it out. And here's what it's going to look like. First of all...
So you can print it on any printer.
Right. And it's all on 8.5 by 11. Now, for those of you who are in Europe, it prints on A4 as well. Their paper in Europe is called A4. Ours is called 8.5 by 11. A4 isn't exactly the same size as 8.5 by 11, but we've configured our margins so that you could use A4 or 8.5 by 11 paper. We learned immediately when we did it just to 8.5 by 11, and our European customers said, hey, it's not working. So,
especially because European customers are a lot of our PDF buyers, because
they don't, shipping, customs, and the terrible time it takes is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I have printed out one of our PDF patterns as an example for you, and I'm going to show you what you get when you get your download. So with ours, you get a download that gives you the pattern guide. So this is our little, were you going to switch that so that, can they read this? Oh. Yeah, we want to switch that so that you can read it.
Well, let's see if this works. Hopefully we don't break this too.
We? I didn't touch it.
Yeah, it was you.
No, it is definitely you.
There you go.
Okay, so this is our Youth Easy shirt. It's based off of one of our men's shirt patterns. But this is the pattern guide. Now, you can print it out as 8.5 by 11, or if you know how to print it off as a booklet form, you'll get it in the small 5 by 7 type. But what's really nice with this is every single page that you would get in your regular, in the pattern guide. It's the same as a pattern guide, but it's just much bigger. And that might be desirable for some of you. But again, you can switch your printer to booklet format, and it'll be half that size. So you'll have like a little booklet like the rest of our pattern guides. So there you'll have your pattern guide, and then you'll have your pattern tiles. So what we provide you with is a direction sheet. So on our direction sheet, it's going to tell you that there's a square here, right there. And that square measures 3 inches by 3 inches. So the first thing you do is only print out this page, page 1. And then you measure that. And if that square measures 3 inches by 3 inches, you're on track. Go ahead and print the whole thing. If it does not measure 3 by 3, there's a setting in your printer that you need to change. And usually there's like a little drop-down menu, and it says, you know, fill to the page, or it'll say none, and it'll give you several options. And one of them will be none, and you want none. You don't want to make any changes to this print. You want it to print just as is, because these are pattern pieces. You want them exactly the same size as if you bought the paper pattern, right? So make sure that's your first clue, is to get that at 3 inches by 3 inches. Then you're ready to go. And the first page or two is going to be a map of what it's going to look like when you tape it together. So you'll see there's a page A, B, and C. So they'll print out in order. So all the A's in numerical order, the B's and the C's. So everything will be in order for you. But now I have a map that tells me what A should look like, which after you've done it once, you don't need the map, because it's a numerical system and they fit together so well that it's not an issue. So I think we're at the point where I want to explain to them about trimming. So I'm going to go over to the demonstration area and trim. Now, one thing I do want to say before somebody pops up and says, oh, the reason I don't want to do PDF patterns is it costs too much for all that paper and ink. You're talking pennies. Pennies. There's not even a penny's worth of ink in a page. And the paper probably costs you between 1/2 cent and a penny. So even if you had to print out 125 pages, you're not talking about a lot of money. You're talking about $2-3 bucks. So don't let that discourage you about the ink and the paper. Okay.
I think that's something that we just have been like ingrained in ours, is like all that paper, all that ink, like, but it really goes a long way.
Yes.
So, and when you talk about shipping costs
right.
and all that stuff.
And like you can always take it on a stick to your local Staples or Copy Center and print them out there, and then you don't have to worry about depleting if you only keep a small amount of paper and ink.
I am getting a couple comments in now.
Oh, yay.
I don't know if I'm getting them all, but I'm getting some. And Kathleen asked, do you configure so that the PDF can go to the printer, like Office Max or Home Depot?
Well, the 8.5 by 11s. I'm going to tell you a story right now in case where you're going is the print shop version. And what we noticed a couple years ago that was other designers were creating what's called a print shop version, which is just like you would get the pattern from me. It's a giant sheet of paper, maybe 72, 96 inches long. And the problem with that we found was that when people took that to the print shop, it was costing them $45 to print it out, when we only charge $24 for the pattern and it's already printed out. And so they were really, I mean, who wants to pay $45 for a pattern? It was ridiculous. So I stopped doing that type. Now, if you buy our patterns through Pattern Review, she has a service where she'll print them out on the larger piece of paper for a fairly reasonable price. But at the same time, you can buy it from me in paper form if that's what you want, because by the time you go to the print shop and everything, maybe I'll have it to you. So, anyway, I guess that answers that question. The print shop version, I hope that answers your question. So you'll take that. I do not do them in the big pages for you. I do them in the tile version. But you can take that and have the tiles printed, but you'll still be taping them together. But I'm going to show you the slick and quick and easy way to do that. Okay. All right.
We're just going to turn the camera around. Janet's going to show you.
You can show them this first so they know what one looks like. So let's show them that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hi guys. Alright. Here we go. There's Janet for ya.
Yeah.
It's just one of those days.
I know.
All right. So what do you want me to show them?
Well,
here?
I'd like them to see, this is page B. So you can see that each tile page is B1, B2, B3. And then in this particular pattern, the reason I chose this youth pattern is because it's smaller. And I just want you to be able to see it. Obviously, if it's an adult size, there's going to be a lot more tiles and more pages. But this is how it'll look when you get done. And now you can either trace it out or store it. So let's talk about what you need to do. When you get these pages, get one here that hasn't been trimmed yet. There's going to be a margin all the way around all four sides. So the first thing you're going to need to do is some trimming. And so what we're going to trim, and this is what my our friend and viewer suggested, and this is what she does. She cuts off the north and the east. Let's see. Am I doing that right? Yes, the north and the east side of the page. No.
That's the west.
That's the west. So we cut off the top.
The top and the left.
And yeah, I know. I have to do this backwards, so now I'm confused. All right. So anyways, we're going to cut that off because we have to match these up. So you can do that either with the old school trimmer, if you've got one of these or access to one. You could just use your plain scissors. Or what we like to do by stacking 4 or 5 pages, we use a ruler and a rotary cutter. So in any way you want to trim those, you're going to trim those down, the top and the side. And now we're going to line them up. So we're going to start with...
Sorry. Joy commented, North and West, like Kim's kids.
Oh, yeah.
Good one, Joy.
Okay, so I want to show you this. We put down C1, and now we know C2 comes next. And what we're doing is we're going to see, and there's directions on the first page on how to get this bullseye. We call them a bullseye. It's not exactly a bullseye. And in this case, I'm going to use just a regular transparent Scotch tape to hold these together. So we're going to just tape these together quickly. You can go all the way along the line, or just to get it together, you can just tape within the pattern pieces. If you're going to cut this out later, then all you need is the tape in the area of the pattern. You don't need it out here in the margins. But if you're going to keep it all intact, you may want it completely taped.
You definitely want a weighted tape.
You want this weighted tape because it would just be a hassle constantly having to pick that up. So that's a real good thing, and they're cheap at the office supply store. So then the other thing, and again, the lovely woman who gave me this tip, I can't remember her name at the moment. I'm so sorry. This is Scrapbook tape dispenser. It's 2-sided tape, and you can go the full length really quickly. And now line up the next page, and you'll know when it goes together. It's just like immediate because all the lines match, the bullseyes match. Now what's nice about this is that completely is sealed across here. And what they're telling me, people that use a lot of PDF patterns, is they're going to tape the top and then they're going to turn it over because this edge is loose here. they're going to tape that whole side too. So if you use the scrapbooking tape, that doesn't happen. So you only have to go across it one time and you're good to go. So I kind of like this idea, and it wasn't mine. I suppose the person who gave me that tip isn't watching, so we don't get her name, and I apologize again. I feel terrible about that. All right, so we're going to just get it lined up. And there we go. The lines are all going to match. That one's a little off. There we go. And the key is that the pattern piece lines match up really well. And then we would just go on to put on, let's see, that's all of page 4. So then we would start down here, and we'd put a row of tape along this line, and we'd set this one on here and get it all lined up so it matched perfectly. And then this one is going to need tape here and here, and then we're going to set that one on, and you just go on and on until you have the full page. Now again, you have the option of cutting it out or tracing it out. And there's lots of different ways to store these patterns, and I've heard quite a few. I'd like to hear from anybody out there that if you use PDF patterns, how do you store them? Like I said, the woman who was giving me these tips on Facebook the other day, she tapes them with the scrapbook now, but she used to tape both sides, and she stores these, possibly rolls them up. Sometimes the pages are so big, I think that's the only way. You don't want to fold them.
Can you show the front of that? They're asking what the double-sided tape dispenser is called. They sell these everywhere, but I'll have Janet give you. I mean, I've seen them at Target. It's called a Tomboy.
Of course, this one's quite old.
Hold it up. So they sell these everywhere. They sell them at Target, even.
Office Supply.
The Office Supply, the Scrapbook Store, Amazon.
Probably Joann's, Michael's.
I believe Joy called it a tape runner earlier in the comments, so maybe try that. But it's used.
On here it says Tomboy Mono Adhesive Permanent. And of course it's double-sided. And it works so smooth. I mean, I think I bought this 10 years ago, and when I got that tip yesterday, I went and pulled it out of my drawer, and it's still working great. I haven't used it in years.
Marlene is asking, what about a glue stick? Now, a glue stick to me, sounds messy, Marlene.
I wouldn't do the glue stick.
This is like no fuss, no mess, no fuss.
And the thing is this is adhered. I mean, this really, really holds. I worry about glue sticks, and glue sticks sometimes make the paper kind of lumpy and bumpy and a little messy. So, I mean, you could try it, and certainly if I was in a pinch and that's all I had, I'd do it. But I think you're better off with one of these 2 tapes. Okay, that's the end of the demo.
See you later. No, I'm just kidding.
So again, we're going to trim it off so that we have a one edge that's completely trimmed, and the other edge you have something to glue it to.
All right, let's get ourselves set back up here.
But like I wrote in my Mythbusters, and I did do a Mythbuster on PDF patterns, and I'm not trying to talk you into buying PDF patterns. And if this is not in your world and you don't like it, don't do it. It's okay.
We are not getting rid of paper
patterns. Never.
I know people get scared because we promote the PDF patterns, but that's because we want the people who love them to know we have them. But we are not getting rid of our paper patterns.
We really are working hard to service people that aren't in a close proximity to our business. And so that's one of the reasons we're doing it. But, you know, we're not going to get rid of paper patterns because so many of you love them. And, you know, if I had a choice in the same amount of time frame, if I could have, for the same price, the already put together paper pattern or one I had to tape together, of course I'm going to take the one that's already intact so I can just go to work. But sometimes that's not, you know, not an option. So that is one of the reasons that we do that, is so that we can facilitate other people. Now, I served on a panel a couple years ago at Pattern Review, And there were 4 independent pattern designers on the panel, and what I learned there was very interesting. At least 2 of them were only PDFs. That's the only kind of patterns they provided. They were newer pattern designers, and they were all about the electronics. But what they were beginning to do, the same time I was beginning to add PDFs, they had realized they needed to add paper patterns. They were losing sales because they did not have paper patterns, and I was losing sales because I didn't have PDF. So I think pattern companies just need to have both now. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it, and then everybody's satisfied.
Something for everyone.
Yeah.
All right, so I have comments, and I have a lot of them.
You can read them now.
But they're good. They're good. To the glue stick question, Gertrude replied that she did use a glue stick once, and when the glue dried, it all dried up, and then the pages came apart. So the glue stick just doesn't sound like a good idea, unless you're maybe in a pinch, right?
Right.
So you asked for what people do.
Yeah, how
with
they
their
store
PDF
them.
pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Joyce says, I lost it. She says she folds and uses manila folders.
Okay.
And she, the front picture taped to the front and the size and measurements to the back. So I like that.
Yep. So this
sounds
would be the front.
Sounds very organized. I don't know much about that.
This would be the back. Yeah.
And Leslie says she folds them up and puts them in a pocket folder. So similar. Usually have plenty of room for several size patterns that way. Everybody's loving the tape runner.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and Joy says she likes to use the manila folders because it's like traditional patterns. So, yeah, you can put them all together. Deborah says that she rolls them up and ties them with a ribbon and stores them in a big metal garbage can.
Okay, so big round barrel.
Yeah, round barrel. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly says, I can't remember the source you gave in the webinar for the tag board by the yard.
Oh, you know what? Go and check that slide out. I think it's American Sewing Supply.
Oh, someone else already
.net.
replied. Thanks, Leslie. American Sewing Supply.
.net. And the interesting thing is there are lots of sources for tag board, but they're either 36-inch small sheets or smaller, or they're 125 yards on a great big roll. And what I thought was really convenient for the home sewer is to be able to buy the length you need, not have to buy 125 yards, but not have to tape together 2 36-inch pieces. So I really like that source. They also have, and I forgot to mention this in the webinar, I said I would give you a source for the really long ruler that you need. And one was the hardware. Definitely you can buy the 45-inch at the hardware, but if you want one even longer or that same length, that same company carries several long lengths of
the American Sewing Supply.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. American Sewing Supply.
Yep.
Marla wants to know if you have a camp shirt for men.
Yeah, it's our well, we have the men's classic sports shirt that has the 2 pockets on it. It has 2 different types of pockets. That one is maybe not in print anymore, though. We're getting really low.
So,
but we also have, which I think is an even more modern, comfortable shirt, and that's the Islander shirt, which is based off of a similar look to the Tommy Bahama resort shirt. So it's a high-end look. It's got a nice hemline so that the front doesn't jack up, even on a man with a big chest. The front, or a big tummy, the hem is slightly gently curved down so that when it hangs on the body, it still hangs straight. So it's a lovely, beautiful, expensive looking shirt when you get done. So it's really nice. And that's the Islander shirt 208, not available as a PDF. Somebody wrote a couple days ago and asked because they were like
Selena says that she loves the high quality paper we use in our patterns. Thank you for the compliment. In regards to PDF, Lynette says it's hard to line up this way, but it's great to print it out at home. We do, I don't know, maybe that it's hard. I feel like we do our best on ours to make sure it's not hard, but maybe tedious might be.
I don't even think.
I don't know. For some people, I mean, it's more work than just pulling it out. But you're right. You're trading one convenience for the other.
Correct.
You're trading one convenience
Absolutely.
for
It's
the
not
other.
a better pattern. It's just more convenient for some.
Yeah.
And the thing is it depends on the brand and who put the pattern together and how electronically savvy they were. And we went through, I cannot tell you how many versions of a tiled pattern, the first pattern we did because we got all the bugs out. There was a lot. And I think that I've tried, in that period, we sampled other people's PDF patterns. And I will tell you, they're not all created equal. So I will guarantee that ours will fit together. Every single piece, every bullseye will match. Every line will match. You will have the identical pattern as if you bought our paper or tissue patterns. But some are a little more loosey-goosey with what they're doing, or maybe their system doesn't work quite as smoothly. So yeah, I would check out different brands, and I will tell you that I bought a Quick Sew many years ago, and that was my first PDF pattern, and it went together beautifully. So, but I know they don't all.